Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about my P&L for last 30 days, my monthly analysis of my performance, and the funds, the capital that I'm using in this learning phase, that is $100, which we're trying to turn into $1,000, which is our first milestone as well. But if I talk about my March month, which was very important for me, because on March 6, 2025, I started trading in the right way that it should be. As I started trading back on January, that was my first month into the cryptos when I started practically trading with my funds. But on a January, I was just trading with the hell load of learning, which was making no sense for me. I was not satisfied with the results. I was not satisfied with that process. In the month of February, I decided to stop trading for a while. I decided to get new learning. I was so curious that what actual trading is. There was something in my mind about the trading which I realized after observing things, after observing a lot of things in the trading. But eventually, I came to an end. I came to a conclusion on the month of February, in the end of February and in beginning of March, that what actual trading is. What are the fundamentals of trading? What are the nature of the trading? The way we should it, like the way we should do it, or the way we should learn it. So after learning, I was just following the same, and even now I'm just following the same. So let's discuss about that. Let's get started. First thing is very important, that what was my plan? The way I started trading in the March month was my first plan. And how I created my plan, because everyone knows that in the trading it required a good plan, to a trade, to be a profitable trader. That's what the people think, but then they don't really have an actual plan, in my terms of knowledge now. Because the plans that we make, that we create, that doesn't go in that way. That fails every time. And then we go in a search of new thing, new strategy, new logic, new learning. But I believe if you learn trading by the facts, and after knowing what actual trading is, you will never try to learn it more. After I got the knowledge, it was so clear on my mind that why 99% people fail. Because that was obvious when you do have a right terms of knowledge. The other point that I created for myself, that was my edge, which was missing. Like everyone got an edge, everyone got a strategy, everyone got a setup that they try to find, that they try to learn from a different YouTuber, a different place, a different person, that the thing that might work for them. But the edge is not something about your technicals, it's not about your indicators or your mathematical formula that we use to trade. Right? Because everything that you use, the price actions, the support, the resistance, the breakdown, the breakout, everything is just created by the humans. That have been just kind of an assumption that we think that will work. But it doesn't. Other thing that I learned, to accept my risk, which is very important point. You should know what are your risk should be. Once you get into trades, you should have your predefined risk. When you execute your trade, you should know that you're trading you're executing your trades without any errors, without any mistakes that we make while doing a trades. It can be any one of the mistakes that putting your SLs close to the market, then trailing that to your CDC, then the market trail off your CDC, and then go to your target point. It happens usually. So these kind of mistakes, like getting in too soon into your trades, getting out too late, having a doubt on your losing trades, not predefining a risk. And even if you're accepting your risk, that's not something that you're doing truly. Correct? That's just a lip service that some sort of a YouTuber taught you that you should follow your risk. But what you should follow it, and the way you should follow it, what are the advantage or the consequences if you don't follow it in a certain way that it should be. correct? Because trading is not that you're getting right or wrong, you're getting win or loss, because eventually you will lose money. That's the fact if you do the trading in that pattern. So I'll be talking about my P&L as well. First, I will just show you guys that there is more. It's not only about the funds. It's not only because we think that we do have a $5,000 or $10,000 in our account, or $15,000 or $50,000 account. We are the trader. No, we're not. Those are just an excuses that we make. Because if you're trying to learn trading, your first approach should be not to expect the profit only, but to expect the consistency, to expect the survival in the market. So my focus should be on my process that I'm following, and eventually the profit will be your byproduct of your skills that you grasped or that you learned, and the profit is your byproduct. Right, so let's get into our profit and loss, a chart where I will show you my profit and loss now for the last 30 days. Let me customize that from starting date. They're gonna be our March 5th, the date that we started trading again. Then today's date, they're gonna be April 5th for the last 30 days. Let's apply it. So here's the thing, bro. If you see my trading fees, that is for $15.75 that I paid on the March month on that 30 days, which was of course high on my initial date. That was 6th March, the day I traded. That was $2.42. Because again, I believe my quantity was so high at that point, or that was just my first day after learning, so I was probably making a mistakes, because that's not the right way to give the fees to the market if you're trading with a $100 account only. It should not be like that. Then I gave like a $1 fees on March 7th. Then I started putting out less fees to the market, like 0.74 cents, 0.14 cents, 0.23 cents, 48 cents, also of 53 cents. Then on March 13th, that was 0.78 cents. Then on March 15th, it was $1.52. So almost the average trading fees that I would not care at all if I'm paying that. That's completely fine, because I'm paying that from my profit money. And why I'm paying that from my profit money, the reason behind, because I was in a $40 profit for the last 30 days. As you can check there, it says that total realized P&L for $40, win rate that is 55%, average win that was $1.84, average loss that was 0.74 cents. The total number of trades that I took, that was 60 trades within those 30 days. However, my profit and loss calculation and the chart, if I show you, so on Saturday 6th March, I made a profit of $1.35, which was okay with that small quantity, I believe. Then I just made a $4 loss on 7th of March. I don't know why. I believe I was repeating the same mistake. 8th of March, there was a profit for $6.90. 9th of March, $2.90. Then I got a loss of $2. Then we had a loss. It was a profit of 68 cents on 11th of March. 12th of March, $2.30, $2.30, $5.78, $8.51. Then we get a loss of $1. Then again the loss of 85 cents. Then 12 cents, $2. I got a profit again of $4. Okay, that was on 23rd March. Then we got a loss on 28th March. That was $8 loss, the biggest of that month, I believe. But then on that April 30 March, we got a profit of $10. We booked that loss. We converted the loss into the profit again. That was a good point for us. Then on the 31st March, we again got the same kind of a profit of $10. On 3rd April, there was a profit for $6.81, and then on the 4th April, there was a profit of $1.41. So that was my profit for $40, which is from which, this profit is something I'm completely satisfied. I was not here for this $40. I didn't even realize that I got this $40 profit last month. I just saw this yesterday night only. Because my main motive was not to repeat the mistakes that I was making during the month of January and February. And I believe I did not, because here that was a complete change for me. It's not about a $40, because that's what you can expect if you're trying to learn. You don't even have to expect the profits, as I said. I was so happy because I survived. Not with a big loss, not with a big profits, but with a consistent results. And eventually that gave me the profit of $40. Also, if you can check, there is only a $52 on my account, so don't think that I'm in a loss or something like it. It's just the thing that I was in the profit, I was having a different amount on my account, but I withdrew that by the time. Here I withdrew some amount, then at this point I withdrew, at this point I withdrew, and this point as well. So that was my withdrawal transaction. That's the reason I do only have a $52 at this moment. Again, I will add my funds back, which will be $100. So we'll be doing it from the $100 or from the $140, including that profit as well, which are withdrawals. So what we're gonna do now, I'll also show you my January and the February month profit, and let me show you the difference on that. Let me customize the date first, the starting date. Let's put on a January 1st. So that was the first day I started trading. I entered into the trading journey, and I started with the crypto. I started with the BTC. But also, before I show you my January and February month profit, the most important should be the fact that I just traded a BTC for the last 30 days. No other instrument, no Ethereum, no XRP, nothing like it, no gold, no Forex. Okay, so the reason behind that was very simple, so that we can master a one particular instrument first, so that eventually we can get in a different instrument. That will be easier for us at the upcoming time when we do have more funds. Because the problem with putting funds into a different instrument is that we don't know how to trade, but we still put the money, we still put the high quantity because of the profit thing in our mind. That we just want that quick profits, we just want that quick learnings without even having the actual learning. So these were the mistakes that I was making in the month of January, February, which I tried not to do on the month of March. I just focused on the BTC. It's not that it's a volatile. The people say that this is a volatile market. You should not start with the BTC. Of course you should not, but just because we don't know the trading, as I said 1,000 times, But I go for the BTC. That's the reason behind it. It's easy to get your high rewards even with the less quantity. As you can see, I only trade with either a 0.1 lot, 0.2 lot, 0.02 lots, or 0.03, 0.003, 0.002, 0.001, or max 0.005. That's what I was trading for the last 30 days. So that was just the profit for this quantity, not even for a high quantity that I traded on the month of January and the February, because I was kind of confidence that I can do it, I can make it, I can get the profit easily, because I was following a bullshit. But now, as in this video, the more thing that I can show you guys, that is okay. So my trading style that I was doing, that I actually trade on an intraday basis, like to cut my trades on a single day. That's what I was trying to learn. That's what I will actually trade. But at this moment, when you do have funds less than $100, you should go for a positional trades, like a kind of a swing trades, which you hold at least for 1 or 2 days. And I was doing the same. Like, it's not for you, but for me, I trade in that way. I got into my trades, and I exited my trade after 2 days, sometime after 1 day, after 3 days as well, because my profit target was not that for 100 or 200 points, because that will not make you trader. If I look for 100 or 200 points only, how come I'll get the profits if I'm just trading with the 0.003 lots? And then eventually the things will come in my mind to increase my quantity, and that eventually will increase your risk, which you will not be able to accept truly, and then you will have your catastrophic drawdown, which everyone get. And that's the reason we fail in trading. We don't follow our quantity, we don't follow our risk managements, even after knowing every shit about that, even after knowing how important is that. But what we don't follow, because we don't know the right learning, that why is that important. They just tell us, we just know that it's the prod, the stop loss is a prod, the losses are prod, the winning is a prod, the strategies, the learning is a prod, but we don't follow that in that way. And eventually we'll have to lose up our amount, we'll have to lose up our funds, no matter what amount you're trading with. So first try to survive at that $100. If you can make that, you can also make it from the $1,000. If you know how to get a large number of points, like huge targets, like, I always look for more than 1,000, 2,000 points, and my average TP is always for more than 5,000 or 7,000 points as well sometime. Because I look for those targets, I think that if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, fine. Because once I have the fun, I can also manage my 500 points easily then. I can also get the trade in and trade out within less than 5 minutes, or probably within 10 minutes. Because at that point, that will be something which I will be able to manage. But when you don't have that funds, you should trade it accordingly. That was my learning. That is something I will not, what we call it, like, I can't, go against that, because that's more important now for me. So let me talk about my P&L for customized date for January and February now. So my starting date when I started trading was January 1st. Ending date will be for February 28. Let's apply. So you can check that was only for $34 even after 2 months. However, that was just my initial phase, but you can see there was a profit of $43 just on the 19th day when I started trading. But then what happened to my profits? Why it did not go more and more up? It should be like more than $189, right? The way I traded on the 19th, the way I traded on the 6th of January. That was my 6th day. But these were something was messy. Was having no plan, was not having a right edge, was not having a right risk management. And the most important that thing was in my mind to get the profits. That's the reason I got these profits. But when you look for the high profit without having those risk or the plan or the edge that is important, you will get eventually under these catastrophic loss. But still I managed to get my account in the positive side only, because I did not lose any single penny that I added up on my account. That was also $100 that I added up on that time. I was only trading with the high leverage, with the high quantity. But I now just take a low quantity, and I just know my quantity, so it doesn't matter about the leverage. I just usually go for 10x or 25x, no more than that. Because more than that, that's the disaster. So also that was the most frustrating thing. It can be most frustrating thing for the many of the traders that they pay $96 or $100 fees just to get these profit. And I'm on this profit, I know, but most of the people will just pay this fee from their pocket. And I'm happy that I did not pay that from my pocket, but that was not looking good. That's the reason I started jumping into the new things to learn something better, to not to follow these things. I'm not here to pay these fees to trading brokers. I'm here to make money out of it. I'm not here to follow a YouTuber to join their live stream and then having a high quantity, then having a losses, a big loss which we get, and then we call or we blame ourselves or trading. We blame it like the trading doesn't work for us, or we doesn't work in the way we should be. No, man, it's not your fault. It's just the fault that we don't know the trading. We just think we call it a business, but this is not a business. If this would happen in business, where are the products? Where are the services that you are providing to your customers or to your trading? It's just a platform that you need to make money out of it. It's just a money game. You put the money in, you get the money, or you give your money. There's nothing like a business that the YouTuber call it. And then we follow it in a very professional way to follow each and every aspect, the aspect of the trading, that the support, a resistance, the projection. We learn each and every categories, the formulas, but in the end, it will not help you. So it's not about like I'm trying to show my profits. It's not about I'm trying to show something that I know. Of course I can show that. Of course I should flex that learning I got. I'm so thankful for that. But this was just part of my journey that I would like to put on my YouTube now, and I will just put that so that I can put more upcoming videos and I can see the change. Till then, thank you for your time. If there is something left in this video, you can comment down below. I'll try to help you in that. I'll try to answer, of course.